Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so coming back here to report more good. Well, I don't know if it's good news. That's not it. It's to describe coming back proud of self for doing more. So that's what I've done. I've since had my conversation with Chase Bank. They told me that the franchise tax board took my CD. If you want your money, talk to them. They put a hold on it. I know I owe the government money, so if that's going to dent into my debt with the government, I actually don't really care, to be honest with you. I know that sounds strange given the fact that I need money, but if that's what happened to it, then that's probably where it needs to be, because honestly, I do need to cut it away at that debt one way or another. And so I ain't got nothing else to give them. So if they want to hold on to that, then out of sight, out of mind, I guess it's going to have to be how I have to take that. But I'm not going to go through that fight right now because I got too many other things to deal with. So no, not going to be getting that money. They did that last year and nobody told me anything. They didn't tell me anything. The bank didn't tell me anything. So needless to say, something is wrong there. But it's a hold on the CD. So hooray for neglect. And what else is going on there? So I come back with that. And then from there, I think I've already told you this. I don't know, but I got myself set up for LA, all that good stuff that you need for the health and stuff, the California health stuff. Got that all picked out, squared away, and then began to go on the journey of calling different health clinics to try to see if I can get certified, and or at least start getting treatment or get evaluation or something that could help provide the beginning of this journey to get the help that I need. So I'm finally taking the steps, man. After all these years, I'm finally ready to start the process. It's going to be from this angle, whatever this angle is. Hopefully I can just go forward and tomorrow expect, whatever the Lord wants to do there. It's obviously not looking favorable for me. I don't have much of a leg to stand on other than, like I said, a few repairs that need to be made around this apartment that just haven't been made, that are pretty glaring, but I don't know if it's going to save my butt last minute from losing the case. But I think the truth is just, here I am ready to make changes, I guess, to help my mental health so I can figure out why I've struggled so bad with doing simple tasks like keeping a job for 3 years or longer. You know what I mean? Or trying to go to school and all these different things I've always needed help for. So I am excited and proud of the fact that in the presence of all of these troubles, I've been able to address different things that need to be addressed. I called a lawyer for tomorrow, the same company that I've been trying to get a hold of, Boston, as I told you guys about. Tried calling them this morning, left a message with them. Hopefully I have a call with them today if they will call me back. And if not, at least I can go to court with that, saying that I reached out to a company and just could not get the communication going. But I did try to address this legally by getting myself some representation to, affordable representation. So, I'm trying to address this as much as my anxiety will allow me to. And to be honest with you, I've done great today, man. It's different. I've called at least 8-9 people today, all in the name of helping myself just cope with what I got to deal with and have something good to tell somebody about my mental health. That's what I want. Like, I'm trying, Hey, everybody, I'm here trying to get help. So, don't look at me as somebody who's not willing to take the steps to not sure that this ever happens again. And look, I don't think this would ever happen again because it's never going to be another AMC. That's the only thing that would have ever coerced me into this. I would have found another job immediately, just like I did the last time. I mean, it was never supposed to be me not working forever. It was just me trying to retreat away from what I hated. And in the process, I found real comfort in morphing into this artist. So without recapping the same old crap over and over again, I just want to say that I come back with yet more effort placed into helping myself. So I got a bunch of phone calls I'm expecting to be returned to me for a bunch of people who are all on lunch break in regards to these various clinics. One of them was a little too far away for me without a car, but I can make my way to these other places. Some of them are close by. So not everybody takes the Medicare package that I have, but hey man, we got to take steps to at least have somebody have some documentation of me trying to address my mental health, because that is what's been eluding me all my life. You're going to see nothing but nothing when you look back on my mental health treatment. And that's no longer what it should be. People are getting, help for very minor things, man. Lose a job, talk to a therapist. Leave a relationship, talk to a therapist. I've gone through all kinds of different stuff on top of having these anxieties that really don't have much to do with nothing, and never got as much as a conversation with a therapist. So I'm not one of those people that don't think therapy is important. I actually think I would enjoy therapy, so it really ain't no reason for me not to be there. That's the God's honest truth. For all the different things that I'm anxious about, talking to somebody about my problems, obviously, is not one of them. So it's just about me taking those steps and then starting that process and enjoying whatever the Lord has in store for me based on what it is that I'm trying to do for myself. And maybe I need to try to get myself a job too, but I just feel like my head ain't right for that, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It ain't. I could try, but like I said, I'm just gonna want to walk out of there real quick or start being depressed, or it's just a lot of different things that I perceive are in the way of me performing properly as a professional right now. Now, maybe I need to man up and just do it, but I think it's more so me manning up and getting help so that whatever it is I'm going through, it's not his problem at all, and I can just address what needs to be done. Because clearly, if you let something get this bad, then obviously you had some other issues going on, and so I didn't recognize that until basically this last week or so when things had gotten that bad. I was still in a quasi denial, so to speak, about things getting better. And even if they were, there's still things that need to be addressed that ain't going to be fixed unless I do this. So rich or poor, my head needs searching through or whatever. I don't really know how this works, but I do know I need somebody to have some record of me having something mentally wrong with me. And that's really what I'm searching for. Somebody to evaluate this head and to say, yep, that brother needs some help, or that brother has this. And from there, we can either treat him to a space where his mind is right, or help him with whatever it is until he can get to that point. And I don't know. Is it laziness? Maybe it's laziness or entitlement once again that makes me desire disability insurance. Maybe it's just the free ride of it all, and the fact that I've sacrificed so much and ain't had money in years. Because even when I had money, I wasn't spending it. So I've been living broke for a couple of years now. Even when I was working, I was living broke because I couldn't make a way, and I was spending money on shares, right? So when I was working, I was still not. So what I'm saying is maybe disability insurance could give me just some breather in regards to this super brokenness that I'm going through while I'm dealing with my anxiety that never wanes ever. People really get rich off of art and talking into the camera for real. Like, y'all actually get paid off this? Make your whole lives off of what I do every day for real? Because it feels so far away from me. Yeah, like honestly, it feels so far away from me. And that's just what it is. So I just want to tell people, man, I'm working on it. When I come back to these therapy sessions in this era, even if they come back saying, yo, you got to get out in 7 days, I want to tell you that I've fought. I'm praying, I'm making content, and I'm going back to try to help myself. I'm praying, making content, and I'm going back to try to help myself. And that's going to be kind of the pulse of how I handle this. It's got to be me, you, God, me, you, and God, because I can't seem to function no other way. Every time I feel anxious, I just got to turn on the camera to get away. It's always something like that for me, but gosh, I think this is probably the best way to go, since I can create content or what have you, and maybe make it good for the soul. I don't know why I've been rhyming all day. I think it's the weed I've been smoking, to be honest with you guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's the weed. But nevertheless, I ain't been smoking that much either, because I know I got these different things looming in the calls that I've been making, so I kind of been keeping my head straight today. The thing tomorrow is at 8:30, so, I don't want to be too high for that. But, my plan, honestly, you guys, if they tell me I got 7 to 9 days to get out of here, the only real plan I have is to hope that I can live in my uncle's condo. Maybe if they still have access to that thing down not too far from us, where my mother ultimately passed away. I don't know who's living there now. I have no idea, but that's like the closest place that I could stay in this area, get the treatment that I need, possibly get a job right there by the football stadium. You know what I'm saying? But like, they don't know me well enough to want me to live there like that. And I don't know them well enough to really ask like that. But that would be the most ideal circumstance for me to be able to build my way out of this situation. But the reality is nobody owes me nothing, and that may not be an option. And after that, we're looking at all kinds of different things. Maybe some public housing circumstances for short. Maybe living with some buddies of mine or somebody might want to take me in without a plan and no money to offer. Who's going to take me? Maybe I can move out of state with some people, and you know what I mean, that I know that have since moved out of state if they would take me in. But how do I build myself out of situations out of state? You know what I mean? When I have so much I need to handle in regards to my mental health, how do I get that stuff? How does that work? I don't know. So it's like, I moved with my grandfather, you know what I mean, and my uncle, and helped over there. That's not my mindset. I don't know them well. That probably, I could probably do some good there. It'd probably be good for them to get to know me and to be in an entirely different world for myself. But I don't know how I would continue doing my channel in their presence, how I would continue doing my thing. I don't know. Like, this is a different world. They don't know me, at all. Only from afar, and, that kind of, so it's just, do I try to contact my brothers and somebody on my dad's side? They don't really know me well enough to be asking them for anything. They love me enough to do for me, but I've never leaned on them for anything like that. So I'm just lost, everybody. I'm lost as it pertains to what happens next. If this goes completely left and I have to leave my apartment in 7 days, I don't know what the hell to do. And the sick thing about it is I genuinely have intentions of paying people, and I genuinely have anxiety that debilitates me for years on end. And there's no record of that. And it's just sad, man, because I really need to be able to prove to people that I'm not well. Like, I really need to. But this should be a normal thing as it pertains to people who are just too ill to even get help or don't have help because they're alone at all times. That is normal. I told you guys about my boy Michael, who out in Santa Monica just wandering. Like, I just want help for everybody, not just my damn self. So hopefully, with me leaving all this vulnerability and all this rawness here, get to the right ears, man. Whatever, maybe somebody can suggest something in the comment section. I don't know. I don't really know, dude. But it looks like life is going to get hard for me, and I just wish my mother was alive to carry me home just like she always would. Anytime I get this messed up, I just go to her. But the reality was, even last time I was just messed up, she was so sick that she wasn't even around to really help me through that one last time. So it's just how my life goes, man. This anxiety crap has robbed me of so much, and I wasn't even really able to clearly identify it as that so that I could put an end to it until well after it already done so much damage. And me being a part of the AMC movement is not related to that in my mind. It's two different things. I just happened to have this mind getting into that and didn't, if I had a hold of my mental health at the time, maybe I would have been able to manage it better. Hell, my disability insurance may have been able to carry me through the process, but I did not want that because I didn't think it was even applied to me. Never looked at myself as someone who had a disability with my anxiety. Till now. Until it became a situation where it was clear to me that I couldn't bring myself to save myself. That's when you know, just by sheer definition of the word, you're disabled. And so I was like, oh, wow. Like, that realization really, like, whoa. I didn't think I was incapable. I just thought I was choosing against this. But then I started feeling what I was feeling, and it's like, started looking at the behavior. I'm like, oh, I should have known better. I remember having an anxiety attack when I was going through a process before this even happened, before AMC, when the car first flipped. And I told you guys about that car accident I had. I referred to it in the last video as well. It was maybe a couple of weeks after that when I decided I wanted to get back to work. The whole situation with the car had, I had my whole hopes kind of broken by that whole situation with my family. Decided not to go forward with the vehicle purchase. And so I was in a space where I was really anxious. And I don't remember exactly when this happens, but I remember getting on the phone with a lady in regards to a job or something. either I was calling her for the job or she was calling me back for an applied job. I think that's what it was. I had applied for a job, but I did not expect to receive the phone call immediately. And I was very anxious at that moment. I don't know why I was applying for work and anxious at the same time. I can't remember, but when she called me, I picked up the phone and I actually was so nervous that I was stumbling over all my words and I couldn't make out coherent sentences. And I was listening to myself and I was like, wow, like I'm stuttering, and she was trying to get me to like just say simple stuff. And I was like, yeah, and I said, I'll just give you a call back or something. And I hung up the phone, like, and that right then, even before I went to Santa Monica, even before AMC, before a lot of stuff, that back then in 2018 should have told me that it was time to get some mental health help, because that was a taste of the anxiety that I was feeling in the last video I was telling you. I was so damn anxious. That was like a real bad anxiety attack that I had while I was on the phone with her, and I didn't identify it as such. I just simply did not identify it as that. I looked at it as the weed I was smoking made me anxious, and I was kind of nervous because I had just gotten in a car accident and wasn't ready to go back to work because I really hated the job I had, and so all of that just kind of made me nervous. But the reality was, just having to talk to that woman for whatever reason that day provided me a great deal of anxiety. And it's just stuff like that that I let go by the wayside, never got help, move on, boom. Go by the wayside, never get help, move on, boom. And 38 years, it's like, yo, a lot of stuff went by, boom, and I did not get help, man. And so I'm ready to put an end to that. The one thing that's changed about me over the last 48 hours is something I said in this video, in this camera about 3 episodes ago, or 4 maybe. And now I'm in a space where I'm looking at myself and I'm saying, if I don't get help at 38, what does it look like at 43? What does it look like at 46? What does it look like at 51? Do I make it to 53? That's where I'm starting to be at with this. It's not even about, oh, I don't need no help, or I could put it off to later. Now I see exactly how this is tumbling forward for not getting help at all. So I'm over not wanting to get help. I'm over enabling myself to stay in the comfort zone that I never once really identified as doing so. Not fully, not as much as it took to really want to get out of it. So I'm now of the mindset that I see the fruit in breaking out of what comfort zone I have. And I think the only reason why I didn't is because of the presence of AMC that would otherwise give me the guise of always being able to sit and never have to change. And in the same time, I'm able to do these things here, so it gives me the ability to be justifiable in sitting still, as you guys know already. So it's all of a perfect conundrum that just allowed me to sit in my own squalor, and it's not making me any richer. So as a result, it makes me so happy and so very fulfilled, but also still keeps me in the same debt that I find myself in. So as I said earlier, people get paid off of this for real. Y'all really getting bucks off of what I'm doing for real. Like, I say that in a joking way, but it really is that way for me in a way. I just don't ever find myself wanting to sell anything or work, like long enough to make any real money. The reason why a lot of people have so much is because they work for years, as you guys know. I never worked for too long to really keep nothing. Anytime I build something, I end up having to lose it, one way or another. It's just like, man, every time I put my head down and put some effort in, it's my anxiety always undo everything I build. Everything that's ever left to me gets undone by my anxiety. It's an endless pit of no production. It's just why I've dedicated so much of myself to doing stuff these last couple years in this space. That's why I've tried to be so productive, is because it takes so much from me that I was hoping maybe I could give something that maybe would multiply 10 times more than it ever took. If I could just be productive and use my talents while in this kind of psychosis, so to speak. I really hope you guys are compelled by this stuff, man, because that's really all it's good for, I think. But, tomorrow morning I am trying to psych myself into being strong enough to get out this house for the first time in over a month to go do something stressful that is going to make me even more traumatized if it goes the wrong way, which it looked like it likely will. I'm telling you, man, I think I'm doing okay. I really do. I think I'm doing great, to be honest with you, if I'm listening to these therapy sessions, especially the Laker one. I don't know how I got through that. And I haven't listened to it as of yet, to be honest with you. I ain't listened to the last one therapy session either. I'm just backing up videos, making them and getting back to work and making them and getting back to work with this journey. I'm trying to get business handled all at last minute. And, it's the last minute. So how much am I actually getting done? Honestly, truthfully, a lot. Rarely is a lot, man. At least I know what's going on with that CD. I ain't absorb it as a bad loss or nothing like that. I don't think I can't get that money if I contact the franchise tax board, so it's not like it's gone. But they are owed, so somebody taking their money from me. They ain't waiting for me to give it to them, I guess. That's how the government works. I wish they would work hard on making sure that we get ours as apes, though, because the payout is due, baby. We are struggling hard. Some of us. Others, I'm sure, are doing all right by enjoying these cheap shares, but I just want to turn my life around with my mental health. I don't want to go to work and take this crazy brain out there to be no customer service representative. I don't want to take this crazy brain out there trying to drive around a city and act like I'm a taxi driver. None of that. None of that until my anxiety and my mind is straight, honestly. We can do this out of necessity, and it's necessary. But when people do that and they're not ready, they really give off the worst service, and then some, as we know. And somebody who feels that way has to say, no, we got to find another way to get my brain into a space where I can do it properly. Just because they say the money is key doesn't mean that I can go out there and operate heavy machinery when I'm stressed to high hell. It's just, we shouldn't. Quite honestly, we need the job, but we're not ready for the stress. We need the help. And I speak for me and anybody else that sees things the way that I'm struggling through. But for those who can work through that, bro. Don't cower just because someone can give you a hand. Do what you can. Because there were times when I could do it, and I did it, and I lasted as long as I could, and I was proud of that. I lived my whole life without even knowing I had anxiety, so I have a hard time allowing myself to let it be a excuse for not doing certain things. But at this point, it's just gotten so strong that I just got to be real with what works and what don't. Beating myself up or telling myself that I ain't feeling nothing to get up and fight back. I mean, we could try that right now, but over the last several months and weeks and all of that, doing that doesn't work. It doesn't. The comfort, the I love you, Brandon, you can do it voice is more so the one that works for me. So, yeah, man, I just thank you, everybody, again, for allowing me to do my thing in here, cope with myself, and provide the content that I can. And hopefully ascend as a YouTuber while I'm up here struggling my butt off, man. It would be great to reach the next milestone, whatever it is. I ain't checked in a while, but last I checked, I was somewhere around 420 subscribers, something like that. So, I appreciate everybody who's tagging along and getting curious about what the hell is going on over here. Trust you me, it's a lot. It's a lot, man, but I just want people to know that, man, mental health people who have these concerns, they're not inadequate. That's been my message all day long, and it stays my message. There are good things that come with it. There's bad things that come with it. There's talent, extraordinary gifts, wisdom attached to these people. You just gotta allow them to be themselves and create environments that are comfortable for them, and allow them to be of service to that environment just the same. Not helpless, but people who are giving as well as being able to receive. So that's what I think is best for me, and I think that's what's best for anybody who has any identification of mental health concerns, especially ones that are negative in nature, depression, anxiety, and things that make you scared. At the end of the day, they just need to be needed, and to be able to offset that energy with something that is creative, I think. So, yeah, man, pray for everybody. Pray for everybody, and I thank you guys. I'm definitely praying for you. And as I continue to go through what I go through, I'll keep on giving you the raw emotion that comes with it, man. I'm really hopeful that this doesn't go completely left for me. Not only because I'm not ready for it, but because it's just not going to get executed very well if it get rushed like that. It's just not. I can do a lot more if I just am prepared. You know what I mean? And I can get things done properly. if I know what's coming. But if I'm caught off guard and I'm doing all these countdowns and stuff like that, it's just so much more difficult for me alone to manage my anxiety while trying to do what I have to do responsibly. So I hope that with that being the case, I can say that and people will believe it, because it's what I'm dealing with. I'm not bullcrapping around, man. I never have about my mental health. And so that's just what it is. I leave myself out here for that. I don't know what the world's going to look like when I leave this house having done this too. Which one of y'all going to run up to me and say, BDF, I recognize you? It's like, I don't even know what impact I may not have made, what could or could not have been done here. I'm just not aware. I've been in the house the whole time. So, yeah, that's what it is, man. But, I'll tell you what, for me, I just want to be able to have a lot so I can give a lot. I always talk about every time I hear of this or that and people give a lot of money to this process or that organization or that person to get it through college or whatever, I just be like, man, I want to do that too. I want to build a school in Ghana for real, bro. I find like great happiness from stuff like that. I'm a nut when it comes to just wanting to see goodwill. Like I really want to see it. People happy and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just, it works for me. But at the end of the day, I can't do nothing from this position. So I just ask the Lord to allow my voice to do what my resources will not be able to. Let it reach the people that need to be reached, to teach and feed the people I would love to be able to help receive thank yous from and all that other stuff. Here you go. Like, this is what I actually have to give the world. So hopefully it's worth it, man. And that's enough for now. I think, I don't know, probably come back around in a couple hours, but I mean, I don't know how to feel right now, man. As far as like for the next hour, do I keep calling clinics? Do I wait for somebody to call me back? Do I now try to call more lawyers last minute? What can they do for me? The case is in less than 24 hours. Like, what can I do for myself? Like, there's nothing that I really know to do. I can't eat. I'm not hungry. That's another thing. I'm hopeful that my appetite will come back around. I was able to eat breakfast, but working out maybe. I don't feel like working out either, and that's part of it. It's like I'm too down to work out, which is definitely something I want to not ever be. Work against that. I call my stem what it is. I pray the Lord to help my stem, the mind that sparks the brain or the brain sparks the mind to operate in such a way that promotes health and work out and all that stuff, keeps you going. That's what I say, Lord, help my stem, so I never let the depression keep me from working out. And then, to a point, it's been working. All these different things that have been happening, I've just been working out through it. But today, well, as of yet, I've yet to really work out. I did like one squat regimen, that's it. And it's been because of the stress and the need to respond and call all these people. And normally I'm not thinking like that. I'm actually doing other things that make me happy. So this is why I'm like, man, I've just rocked myself to sleep with this whole life of mine where I've been happy alone and all this. And now when you get away from it, it's hard to put yourself in a position to be as productive with the things that you've built while doing so. It's kind of what happened to me when I was working at a Marina Harbor, which I think I did. I had my channel for sure. I was in a little dungeon area with the blue shirt on. That's what that place was. No, that was the one after that. The one before that was Marina Harbor. Either way, they both had little dungeons. I think I was recording in, but nevertheless, there, I was doing my job, feeling great, riding around in the cart all day and gaining weight. Couldn't manage my body, even though I was trying to work out in the mornings. It didn't have the proper effect because I was eating poorly before all the dietary issues started, and then I was sitting all day, so it wasn't allowed for a whole lot of exercise, of course, and thus made my body get out of shape and stuff. So it's just harder for me to manage my body when I'm working a 9 to 5, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people who don't have crazy motors, So given the fact that I didn't have a crazy motor, it was like I want to sleep after I work, and it's just too much lazing around, smoking and lazing around after work. It was pot belly time for me. I got porky pig pudgy for my standards, and I just did not like myself working out as hard as I had up until that point, and then letting it all disappear, just trying to work a job that I genuinely liked. I didn't hate working in Marine Harbor, but man, it was hard to maintain what it is that mattered to me doing it. And so these are the things I don't want to fall into. I'm 38 years old. I can't even afford to go backwards in my health like that. And managing my time and managing my body is something that matters a lot to me. And I don't think I've mastered the time part. It's like I need to be able to have all this free time in order to manage my body the way that I like to. And if I do, I can do it. But if I don't, and stress is leaning upon my head, keeping me from wanting to work out when I do have a time to do it, it really doesn't get done. And that's exactly what it's been. Me trying to fight through the sadness or the fight through the fear or what have you to just get these workouts done every day for the last month. And wherever, I've done it. I have definitely kept at it. So you can see the progress. There's definitely progress, but there's also a lot of aloneness that comes with, just the way what I've chosen. And from there comes having to self-motivate, which isn't the easiest thing in the world. But I've developed that to some degree, and I think I'm displaying that now in this camera. So praise the Lord for that. And I still don't know what the hell I need to do right now. Don't think I got anywhere closer there. That's it, man. That's it. Looking for the strength that comes from going through tough times, and hopefully some grace that'll keep it from being as tough as it could get. And prayers indeed for those who've gone through this or who are going through this and things got bad for them. You know what I'm saying? For those who it didn't go well. They ended up on the street. I'm praying for them. It's time for it to turn around now. That's what I want for those folks. It's time for their situation to improve, especially if they have some disability that keeps them from getting the help that they need, and it's just there. They just don't know it like me, or that they need it and just can't identify it like I was like. I hope through this prayer and intention that they will be able to get that help, or that we can help get them that help somehow. So that's what I hope for, man. If you're a psychologist or a psychiatrist, you're needed out here in this world. We need you to do your job the way that you know how, because there's a lot of people out here who are not treated. They're just going untreated, and they're just like me. They really need a lot of help, and if they get that help, they can maybe help themselves or someone else, or at the very least not be a detriment to the rest of us, not be a threat to the rest of us. So that's what I got to say, man. These therapy sessions have been coming all day long, and they will probably keep coming so long as the stress keeps hitting. But I know for at least a couple hours tonight, the Lakers will be playing, and I'm prayerful that they will give us something good to watch so that I can cheer for something during this turmoil in my life. And praise God for hustle. Praise God for ambition. Praise God for the money-making mentality that keeps people from ever experiencing this. You know what I mean? I wasn't given that trait. It ain't there. I am totally in the dumps. And it's not because I don't have ambition. It's just because I'm wired away from money-making techniques and money-making circles and people who have a lot of money. And it is what it is. I don't know what to do for myself in this situation, unfortunately, other than to just keep on doing what I've been doing. And that's what I know how to do, man. And so I don't feel sorry for myself when I say that. Maybe I should. I don't know. But that doesn't work. That energy never works. So we move forward and look forward to new energy and new information and new processes and practices that work for us. And welcome those into our life with open arms and the results that come with it as well. So that's what I got, man. Many therapy sessions to listen to in a row. I'm probably going to have my headphones on for the next 2 hours listening to my own damn soul. But honestly, I think I'll leave myself with good energy here, just as I hope to leave you guys with. I believe in you. I think you're great. I think you're fantastic. I think your support toward me is applaud worthy alone, and that you deserve some support and applause for what it is that you're trying to do and be seen for and supported for. And I hope that you get that support where you're looking for it. And I hope that you don't overestimate how much it matters to what it is that you're overall doing, because it doesn't end with their opinion of you. It ends with how you handle all that comes at you, including their opinion, and I think you'll handle it just fine. So that's what I gotta say, man. That's what's on my mind, and I'm gonna be all right too. I know it. I got a good God, man, and I've put out good energy and great prayers. So at this point, I'm now welcoming the best of those things. Come back and meet me when I need them the most. And for you, I ask for the same. Adios, BDF 44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.